Welcome to the video. The gang is all here. Little update on a Friday night. It is Friday night. I don't know that we'll get any jewelry done because I don't. I have a box of earrings I've had here for a long time, but I'm not really in the mood to go through earrings tonight. I have been out dumpster diving, as you know, trying to get that last bit of treasure before the year ends out of a dumpster so I can then do a dumpster diving roundup on the gold and silver or precious metal gemstone finds. But so I'm going to a few different places that I haven't gone to before. However, at the dumpster thrift store, the so-called nice manager goes home early, and there's like 4 or 5 little volunteer ladies and then the big wig who's over several stores in the area. And they're in there, must be cleaning up because they're putting it in bags. And the dumpster it's like a half of my pickup truck full. I had 10 bags today that I got out, so I'm feeling better. I had to wait for them to leave, and I'm always sitting there like, please just leave. And I don't want to see the guy on the bike, the felon on the bike, or the other felon who I haven't seen in a while, because they just take everything. They're just my competition. So God's been good lately. In the last 2 nights, I have been victorious. So I'm going to show you a few of those finds. Mainly tonight it was like a vintage tablecloth material, and I'll probably move most of that on down the road somewhere. But some toys. There was a big car find, which I love. I love the little cars. So we're going to get started. I am feeling good. Don't worry about me. My voice is just, a little rough, and I still have sinus drainage, but I'm good. So anyhow, here's the gang. Some people are new. I do have a playlist of when the gang joined, and I won't go through them all, what they collect and all. But yes, we sit here and talk to jade frogs and agate turtles and agate chickens and a rubber hippo and a porcelain bunny and a plastic bear and a shell turtle and another shell turtle and a plastic bobber and agate turtle. Yeah, that's what we do. So today, I'll move all these guys back slowly. This right here came in today's dumpster dive behind the thrift, and it's very nice. It's just a little welcome sign. I thought it would be a great, made in Brazil, and on a wooden stand, designed by Flanner Limited, Wilmington, North Carolina. I don't know if that's vintage or not. That might be a nice little Etsy sale. Yes, thank you, Ann and Sue, for mentioning about how y'all like Miss Berry. Oh, and Angelica, she leads us in our devotionals. And Aunt Bunny, crazy Aunt Bunny, the cleaning, diabolical cleaner. And we do have a pin. We do have a piece of jewelry, part of the gang, the Aladdin lamp. So if you need a wish, we will rub it and you make a wish. So think about a wish, everybody, while I am getting this going here. Get your wish in mind. We're going to rub the lamp. The beautiful Aladdin lamp pin. All right. And it should be on its way. On its way. So, another nice find. And this stuff was covered in chalk. Somehow it had rained and stuff is covered in chalk, so I washed it off. The bottom was already like that. I love these things. They don't sell on eBay or Etsy. 1971 to 75 R&W berries, and they're just cute. I just think that maybe in 20 years they'll meet their market. Right now I know they're common. Loving you happens to be what I do best. And then his cute little face. Okay, we like that. I'll put that on. I'm going to have to pick up because I want to show y'all some of the glass finds that I got at the bottle place. I try not to go over there and get glass because I don't need glass, but when you see what they are, you're going to be like, oh yeah, you definitely had to pick that up. Some of y'all saw the You Break, You Buy. I'm sure the mean one wrote that, and so this nice little group of ladies threw that out. But also, yeah, how ironic is that? Because that day, yesterday, that's a fresh break. They just chunked it all in the corner of the dumpster. And there's a bunch of these on eBay and Etsy, but he's cute and I'm keeping him. But that was a bummer. It was all broken. I couldn't have even, no way could have salvaged that. So, hitting the little bottle dump area, behind one of the city properties is our little town recycled paper, and I have found some good ephemera in that for paper and mousse. Books that I don't want to get out of there anymore, and then people always dropping off their bottles, alcohol, whatever, glass, and these three things were sitting there. I've cleaned them. They were not that clean. We got a pickle, a huge Magic Farms pickle jar. I love it. And I mean, these are huge, right? Let me see. Let me put up a scale. As I cover up the camera. 10 inches tall. And I don't know, you know, I used to get the whatever I didn't like here, it was kind of like the junk jewelry, and I would put it in a baggie or a jar and take it down there. But lately, since I'm doing all the charms and things have shifted, I'm not doing that anymore, so I'm not sure. I do have a little bit of a craft lot going, so maybe that'll go in there. I did go into John's thrift store today. I call it John's. He's the assistant manager. And how much was this? I don't buy because obviously I don't need more stuff to sell. $1.99. Is that called a cross stitch? From 1988, signed. Looks like Amarillo, Texas oil country. I mean, someone's gonna like that. Don't you think? I just couldn't leave it. That is just priceless. Texas in the 80s. And I went in there to see if they had jewelry jars, but I finally asked the one lady who knows I love them. I said, is she giving up on those? And she said, no, honey, she is so busy, and she's managing this store and the other city and a blah, blah. I said, I totally understand. This is a real bad time of the year. Don't bother her. I just didn't know if I should give up on them or not. And she said, I don't think so, honey. I said, okay. So for $2.99, I lived in Corpus Christi for many years, and this is signed. It's small. I like it. I mean, it's not super small, but what, 7 by 12 or 10 by something. It is beautiful. Don't y'all agree? I mean, look at that. That could be the Carolinas. Keats. Haven't looked it up. It's just so lovely. It's a real watercolor. It is not a print. So that's what, once I bought that, I had to go and get the oil painting. And that I'm keeping for a while. That one, I don't know. I just like it too much. So I'm going to put up the tripod and try to show y'all a few more things that we got just from today. I'm just going to kind of weave them in because it's just kind of crazy. I haven't even had time to go through it. No jewelry. So we're going to start with just some holiday throwouts. We have the decorative fall. My friend really likes fall, so she's always saying, don't get rid of anything. The Halloween and all. And I mean, this is just cheapy stuff, but she decorates there in front of our fireplace. And those are in good condition. And then we have a pumpkin. I need to clean off that chalk. He's missing part of his hand, but he's cute. He has movement, you know. Kind of cute. She's out of town right now, so I showed her a picture. And this, Trick or Treat. you know, typical thrift store stuff that people donate. And if we don't keep that, we'll just, I was talking about the bottle place. That's where I take boxes and boxes of stuff sometimes. And usually one box at a time. And by the time I drive through there a few hours later, it's gone. Then we have a little trick or treat. I got 2 of these. Lucky bucket, you know. Put your mudlarking finds in that. And the other day, here's Christmas mini scrapbook. You know, that'd make a cute little thank you gift to stick into somebody something. Yesterday I left a box with stuff in it, and I drove back through, and there was a lady sitting in the parking lot next to the box, rifling through it. Christmas, this says a sticker, Pier 1. That's a pretty nice basket. I'm liking baskets. You know, I can put these little jewelry stashes. And speaking of baskets, we have another one. It's, I thought it was a turkey, but it's not. It's a cute little duck. Cute little duck basket. Our next holiday is Easter. I don't know what these are. It's just cheap China stuff. Is that's for dyeing eggs, duh. And then, I thought it was some kind of mold, but I guess not. And then these, Minka, they're very lightweight. She is having an absolute, I could have bought her a $20 toy. And she's having a blast because she rolls these. They roll so easy and they wobble. And then they pop open and she'll grab that in her jaw and go carry it off like it's a lizard or a snake or something. So proud. Speaking of, I gotta run and get my phone because I gotta show y'all a picture of her cousin. The downtown cats are black and white, a lot of them, and she came from that group. And today, the downtown ones are getting fed. Y'all saw a picture in the other video. But I think they are running off the other ones, because further up toward, like 2 blocks north of this, is where I found her. So this is like her. You can't see him, but he's in rough condition. He's a young male, starving, running around, scrappy. And I went ahead and I had some stew that I had made Christmas Eve, and I can't eat it anymore. It had a lot of chunks of meat in it. I just didn't have the appetite for that, so I went ahead and dumped it out behind that dumpster. Nobody's gonna care because there's nothing around there. Okay, on with the theme, spring. Got a spring, little spring tree. I don't guess I got any Valentines. So this comes out. If I wanted to keep the pot, I could. I don't really use the little pots. I'll probably put that down at the bottle place and let somebody have a find. There's another dumpster going on. John's thrift store, that's where the felon on the bike, he will dive it, but he has to crawl under the gate. And then he brags about finding flat screen TVs for $2,000 in there, which really upsets my other competitor, but I really don't care. I just don't care. But their dumpster's always full too, you know. People donate so much that they can't put everything in a store. But on the back of that property is the back of a practically abandoned mall. Now one of the stores is gone, Steele's, and there's a church there. One of those modern churches. And that dumpster today was full. I just was like going back there because I'm like, I gotta find, you know, some kind of random, somebody throwing out some jewelry. That's how it happens if you want to do it. And it was full, and that will be interesting upcoming. There's some ephemera in there. I haven't really looked. It was like a guy that passed away, and his profession in the heydays had something to do with you know, the technology coming about in the 80s. And there was a bunch of boxes of old wires, so I'm going to be scrapping that. And I don't know if they're having overflow and maybe walking through this just little 30 feet through the woods, and there's a trail, and maybe dumping in that other one because there's no camera, which would be great if they would start overflowing there. I might have to be checking that. But this was, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just taking stuff and bringing it home. Some samples. Laminate floors. I mean, this isn't that old, I guess. I don't know. But this is kind of interesting. If I make some kind of weird lot later, wild cherry, Heidemann flooring, really pretty. Okay, this is the side. Oh, look at that. I mean, that grain in both of those is beautiful. And then this sample. So some salesman samples. Somebody ought to be collecting that, right? Cherry ship deck. I mean, I would think so. Maybe somebody would want those. I'm pretty sure they're vintage, just the way, vintage meaning 90s now, y'all. The way this is so faded. But maybe somebody on Etsy would like salesman samples of flooring. Oh, I love this. I don't have the pepper one. Where's my phone? I took a picture of it on. Salt of the earth in a limb of pine for the table. Its use for the table, its use. For the taste, it is fine. And it's this guy, F, gosh, I don't know how to pronounce. Plasman, 1960. This is, I got to get this chalk off. See, it was like, it got wet and got on everything. Nobody tried to mess it up. It comes off real easy. That, I'm going to say, is from my dad because he was a forester. He loves trees. So, there's that one. But the pepper, let me just pull up a picture. I wanted to read y'all what the pepper said. Good old pepper, aged in the wood, it's never forsook by a real good cook. So he has apparently, I've never heard of him, but he has all these little, and look at that, those are neat, where it's, you know, got the core in there, whatever you want to call that. Xylem and phloem, something. Pretty neat. Oh, I looked this up yesterday. Somebody had it listed for $40 a different place. It is, they're calling it Scandinavian metalwork, you know, people that know how to list things. And it's from the 60s, and it's a wedding plate. Wish I would have had more. But it's super nice, beautiful. And if y'all saw the video yesterday, it's signed by the Swedish maker. I'm looking around. I think I'm down to just this one. She was in that, the electronics guy. She was in there. There was some Christmas things. And I just love her. I'm not going to wash her because I feel like she'll just come apart. Isn't she lovely? You know? Love it, love it, love it, love it. Just show y'all his bag before we go. His little bag. I pulled it out. It's faded. Pierre Cardin. And I guess it's vintage because look what's inside. Now, how vintage is this? This is like, let's go play racquetball in the 80s. He had a little hand. I don't know. Maybe that didn't fit. It didn't look like it was ever used. And this goes around your head, I guess. I just saw that. I'm like, that just looks, these colors. And this is very used and washed. So I might be listing that Pierre Cardin on there. It's just faded on the outside, but it's, I don't know. Gotta look it up. And then these, I was like, ooh, what's that? Steam pump. Steam pump. But it's a ruffler, Made by, oh, that one's not made by the person. There's one in here that has a name, and that's how I figured out what it was. It's by Nikken in Japan, and it's a ruffler that you attach to your sewing machine. I don't know if all the parts are there, and there's other parts in here, and there's a magnet with needles on it. I think it already popped out. There's like a needle right there and stuff. So I think what I want to do, probably put it on eBay, sewing machine parts repair guy. I mean, whatever, however much. Like, I try to clear $7 and not get, you know, not lose money on shipping, because this is probably be $8 to ship that in the flat rate. Otherwise, it'll be more. It just costs a lot of money to ship now, y'all. It's crazy. There is no more parcel post. There's just not. But I think somebody would want that, and they can tinker with it, so who knows. Put it on there, buy it now. And that's it for right now. I don't think I'm coming back on. Gonna go chill out, watch some videos, and y'all just have a great Friday night. We're waiting on 3 bags of jewelry to get here. One of them has been shipped. The other 2 are sitting there. Aunt Barry's bidding on some more. And somebody was asking me for a tip. I just, you know, if you notice the bags we're getting now, they don't have the big chunky anything, because they're pulling all the big chunky sterlings out, and the rings and the... Now, not everybody. I see some people that are getting some good stuff off of Shop Goodwill, but not too many that I can think of. A lot of people still can buy a Goodwill jar. A couple of the people on there that can still go into a city and buy great Goodwill jars. Thelma Thrift gets hers in Houston. Lucia Lay, I forget, Baltimore. I could be way wrong. I'm sorry. And my Skywatch, she buys off of the Shop Goodwill, but also can go and get some. And then people also have Good Salvation Armies in their city. I don't. And the one in Tyler, it's an hour away. You practically get murdered just in that neighborhood. It's just, I'm not one to judge, but when you pull up in the parking lot and you're worried and people follow you around the store, a little bag of jewelry that they've already taken. I did one video on it, and it had like malachite, and it had some good stones, but there's not going to be any gold or silver in those stores. That's all picked through by the employees. So there are places to get good jewelry. Good luck to everybody. Would love to see everybody's finds. Susan Gill, anything you see, if I can find it, I'll pull it for you. Thank y'all. See y'all later.